Let's get it on.
It is Wrestling Observer Live 7 days a week, Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern and Pacific. Sundays, 6 p.m. Eastern through Pacific. And Saturdays, where you and I is right now, 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific. It's Jim Valley.
That's the most exciting type of Valley.
The effing king of recovery. 6-0 against death.
I don't want to toot my own horn, but toot.
All because of the fans.
Each and every one of you. The largest collection of STD having trailer park trash The Rock has ever seen.
You all fat, neck-bearded, mouth-breathing trolls.
They don't have adrenaline in their soul.
Smackdown last night. It was not banger after banger. It was distraction after distraction. Oh, just making a 3-hour pointless show even more annoying, which is something I love. Saturday night's main event tonight looks, to be honest, kind of unimpressive. Double or Nothing tomorrow looks great, and not just by a hair. See what I did there? Professional talk show host. Fans, wrestlers, and friends came together overnight in Tokyo, Korakuen Hall, to remember Hana Kimura on the 6th anniversary of her tragic passing. We'll run down the show, which was called overnight by your friend and mine, Fumi Saito. And you think you hate fantasy booking. Lots of fans are now fantasy booking Ludvig Kaiser's charge for battery in real life. And look, just because you like a wrestler and their performance or their character doesn't mean they can't have made a bad choice. You don't need to cover for them. You also don't have to hate them, but you shouldn't try to make up for and make up scenarios where they're the hero either. Parasocial relationships and pro wrestling. We've got to talk about it because, to be honest, it's driving me crazy, especially when there's a report out, obviously, from the WWE, Ludvig Kaiser side, that says, oh, there were no punches thrown. Oh, the neighbor criticized sending his girlfriend to ice, calling ice. Well, there's surveillance video. We know there were punches thrown. We'll get into that and more. Stand by. Jim Valley, Wrestling Observer.
Oh, clear.
There we go. There it is. There it is. Yes, hello, everybody in the chat. Everybody, happy Saturday. Greetings to all. Thank you all for being here. We appreciate it. We appreciate, by the way, bought this. Check that out, these new figures. They're pretty cool looking. I'm going to take them out of the box, but I haven't yet. They're pretty cool looking, I think. So, yeah, I need to do that. I just got these, though. I was looking for some detailed Road Warrior figures that don't cost like an arm and a leg, so, yeah, they're kind of cool. Yeah, I kind of like them. They're pretty neat. All right, what else do we have going on? All kinds of stuff today. All kinds of stuff. Oh, yeah. All right. Let's see here. Well, yeah. There we go. All right. Oh, goodness gracious. Ah, heavens. Who knows? Who knows? Oh, yeah. Yeah, the court did allow him to travel. He went to Mexico for his serenata, or whatever they call it, last night. So he's there. Yeah. If this fight ever get to be Hawk, that's funny. It'd be funny if you guys were fighting over Hawk and Randy Savage. That would be ironic. Don't you think? No. Anyway. Yes, he was trash. SmackDown was trash last night. I agree. It's awful. How many interferences can they have? We will talk about Ludvig Kaiser coming up. We will. Yeah. Yeah, they let him go. Look, and I'm fine with that. I'm fine with him going down there and all of that. My problem, it is the most exciting type of valley. Somebody repeated that the other day too. I love that. On Reddit or something. It's funny. Oh, I think it says my favorite valley or something like that.
You are listening to Wrestling Observer Live on the Sports Byline Broadcasting Network.
Your valley, Wrestling Observer Live. By the way, you're watching on video here on the YouTube, on the Observer YouTube. This is where my throat was cut when I was sick and I was trached. I don't want you to think I'm wearing a mask like that one guest on Fox News. So it's not a mask. If this was a mask, I'd choose a better looking one. The annual Hana Kimura Memorial Show, overnight, Korakuen Hall in Tokyo. 7 matches. That's a fun show, according to Fumi Saito, who did Japanese commentary. As usual, there were tears, laughter, emotions. Very solid main event, 6-women tag team match. And of course, each of the women, Rina, Veni, Konami, Jungle Kiona, came out of retirement, Mika Iwata, and Mio Momono. She, all 6, had a special relationship, personal relationship with Hana Kimura, of course. Jungle Kiona, one of Hana's best friends, one of her best friends in Stardom. And the woman who found Hana, who saw her on social media and ran over to her apartment and found her. So very sad. But so the main event, as we mentioned, it was a 6-women tag team match. Rina, Veni, and Konami won over Jungle Kiona, Miki Iwata, and Mia Momono when Rina pinned Kiona. Poor Jungle Kiona, even coming out of retirement, she still eats the pin. Semi-final 3-way match ended in a triple countout with Aja Kong, Shitaro Ishida, and Shuji Kokoto. Yeah, Aja Kong, always good. Intergender, 6-person tag team match, with Lucha Libre rule, meaning you go out, someone comes in. It was Hayate, Sumoto, I gotta get this right, Sutomu, and Oshugi versus Super Delphin, Cherry, and Maruko when Cherry pinned Osugi. A single match, Unagi Sayaka pinned Shin Hana Kimura, which was Sakura Hirota with Hana cosplay. And every year they have Hana cosplay at the Hana Kimura show. Intergender match with Hanaka Najimori pinning Yoku Miyamoto, and an intergender tag team match, Fuminori Abe and Seigo Tachibaba versus Ram Kaichao and Death Yamasan, who is Kari Yoniyama, who's been Death Yamasan for quite a while. Kaori Yoniyama. Anyway, and then that was when Taichibana rolled up Ram Kaichao for the pin. And in the opening match, Zones pinned Yuna. And again, this card is put on every year by Hana's mom. And they do this every year, and Fumi's always a part of it. And again, also last night, Marigold, the Oda Ward Gym, Nyla Rose wrestled in a multi-person match. And also Utami Hayashita's last match, at least for now, with Marigold. She says it's time to go out and make her way without her parent. Talking about, obviously, Rasi Ogawa, former head of Stardom, now at Marigold. And in a recent interview, Utami seemed open to wrestling internationally, but, we'll see what that means for her future. Utami is an incredible athlete and a beast in the ring. And, she can write her ticket to go anywhere. She said a lot of offers, and I'm not surprised. So we'll see what happens with Utami Hayashita. I do want to talk about this. Even though it was canceled, supposed to be for Thursday, El Grande Americano, Ludvig Kaiser made his appearance for his Serenade Friday, Serenada, I believe, in Mexico City. Yes, he was honored by the Kings League, Mexico, Friday night at the arena. Now, the event had been scheduled for Thursday evening. However, as you recall, it was canceled not long after reports surfaced that Ludvig Kaiser had been arrested on May 20th on a battering charge, as I'm sure you're aware, stemming from an incident at his Orlando apartment complex. Now, Kaiser's attorneys petitioned the court to allow him to travel both domestically and internationally while the case is pending, and state attorneys did not object, which I think is perfectly reasonable. So he can go from the United States to Mexico while this case is pending, and he should. I'm not aware that he has ever had any other run-ins with the law, and that is his job. There's no reason to keep him from making money or to cost him his job. So he made the appearance at the Kings League Dome, and the public appearance is free, but limited to the first 300 attendees. So the fans went crazy for him, and according to video, you can see it online, looked like tears were being shed by Americano. Now, maybe he was touched, or maybe he goes to the Brock Lesnar School of Retirement Acting. I don't know. Just believe they're real. Doesn't matter. Either way. But again, as you know, Marcel Berthel, his real name, the man who portrays Ludvig Kaiser and El Grande Americano for WWE and AAA, charged with battery, May 20th, from an incident where the alleged victim, Kaiser's neighbor in his apartment complex, claimed that he was punched and assaulted by Kaiser after telling Kaiser and the woman he was with in the elevator to show some manners. Apparently, allegedly, they were a little overly frisky for this gentleman's taste. Now, is he correct? Is he not? I couldn't say. I'm not going to say. I wasn't there. Now, days later, a report came out, likely from the WWE Ludvig Kaiser side, from Raj Giri. And look, I don't know Raj. I've told you this before. Ever since I got sick, I live in my little world. I pay attention to what Dave says and a few others, but Raj, for whatever reason, just doesn't make my radar. And it's nothing personal. So I don't want this to sound like Jim is criticizing Raj or anyone else. This is about parasocial relationships and fans. Okay? Now, I will say that Raj, in this case, should have known better. Apparently, the story says that the neighbor said something about calling ICE on Kaiser's girlfriend or woman he was with. I'm not going to name her. It doesn't matter. And according to this report, there were no punches thrown, just some minor scuffling. Now, here's the problem. In the police report, the public police report that anybody can access, anybody can, and reporters should access, released to the public, it states very clearly that the neighbor said he was punched and that the surveillance video taken around the time of the alleged incident shows a white male assaulting and punching the neighbor. It's on video. That part is on video. Now, is there audio to the video? I don't know. I'm not aware. But it states very clearly that there is surveillance video in the police affidavit of the alleged battery. Now, can police make things up? Certainly they can. But in this instance, I have a hard time believing they're trying to frame El Grande Americano. I don't know. That's my personal opinion on that. But as I go through and I read on the various social media, you see these people. They're saying, oh, he's a hero. Oh, look at that. See, there were no punches. And they believe this report perfectly. Now, even if there's no video, there are cases, documented cases, where when you're in the heat of an incident, oftentimes your recollection is not accurate. You think it is, but it's not. You maybe get clothes alleged perpetrator is wearing, or other things in an incident. When your adrenaline's flowing, you're not paying attention. Those things, people can honestly make mistakes. And again, that's why when reports come out, you should always keep an open mind on things. Unless, of course, there's documented history of things. Vince McMahon. I'm sorry, what? Sorry, what? Sorry. Unless there's 30 years of documented history. That's another story for another time. And I'm sure that time will come at some point in the future. But all these people were like, oh, he's a hero. Is he? Look, what if it was Baron Corbin, or Nia Jax, or Hulk Hogan? Did you come in quickly to their fence because you don't like their work? You have beliefs about them? We'll talk about parasocial relationships. In real life, real wrestling, stand by. Jim Valley, Wrestling Observer Live.
Oh, clear.
It does.
The next segment is going to be a little bit shorter because I let you go on that one because I wanted you to
Sure.
kind of you were rolling, so I just wanted to let you go.
In my 5.0.
Yeah.
Right. Yes, indeed. Right. Yeah, the Best of the Super Juniors tournament has been pretty good. It's been. But I mean, the Super Juniors, the juniors, in New Japan have always been great. So, I mean, it's kind of a shame sometimes that they don't get more main events. They don't get, I don't know, all that stuff. Anyway, all right. I know, isn't it? June, because, it's a good idea, though, to have a guest star like that. And why not? People love Jun Kasai. Why not? Why not? Oh, by the way, whoops, hang on. Yeah, they have been killing it. I agree. Where is that at? Oh, yeah. Actually, Don, playing Gordon Solo Trivia with me at 3 a.m. your time isn't a parasocial relationship. If you're doing it with me, that counts as charity, especially that day, because it was just the two of us. So, hey, Stevie, how are you? So, yeah, no, that's not parasocial. It's charity. That's what that is. So, thank you for that. Yeah. No, Jun Kasai, it's pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. But why not? Why not? I think it's fun. Oh, goodness. Anyway. Yes, indeed. Oh, jeez. That's funny. Yeah. I hope Brian Cage takes care of himself. I don't know. Yes, those days are over, I guess. All right. All right. All right.
All right, here we go.
All right.
You are listening to Wrestling Observer Live on the Sports Byline Broadcasting Network.
Wrestling Observer Live. And we are talking about wrestling and parasocial relationships. And Ludvig Kaiser allegedly assaulting someone, facing battery charges in Orlando, Florida, where he got into a fight or assaulted his neighbor after his neighbor told him to, keep it in his pants till he gets to his room. I don't know. But the point is, look, you don't have to hate him. You can still go down and cheer him in Mexico or cheer the next appearance. But you don't need to fantasy book a real life situation that happened. I read these comments and it's like, we already know it's on video. It's out there. We know that he threw punches, according to the police. According to the police affidavit, that it wasn't just a scuffle and no punches. We know that's not true. But what'll happen is these people will just move on. And then they'll turn right around and call Dave a liar. Because that's what they do. Because they have a parasocial relationship. Also, with certain podcasts, because, they were there. Oh, wait, that guy's gone. Never mind. Wonder why. Because he was there, that's why. Anyway, enough wrestling with that. But I mean, look, Ludvig Kaiser's on the roll of his career. He is over in Mexico, the United States, well, whatever. But, he has been great in his role. There's no question. But that doesn't necessarily mean he's a good person. It also doesn't necessarily mean he's a bad person. Yeah, you're exactly right. We have our great media, political discourse for encouraging the tail, wagging the dog. And look, I have friends who have done time, and I'm their friend because they paid their penance to society, and they have, from what I can tell, cleaned up their life, and they haven't gone back. So I'm not looking for a purity test. You can still appreciate Ludvig Kaiser's performance. Punching some guy out, it's not the best thing in the world to do. You shouldn't do that. But it's also one night, and there's nothing in the toxicology. The officers, there's nothing there. maybe it hasn't been released, or maybe, who knows? But it's like, maybe he had a couple in him, or maybe he was just horny and he felt like this guy was blocking him and he was mad about it. Or maybe he was just feeling himself a little too much. Look, there's a lot of reasons, but a mistake like that doesn't have to be the end. But at the same time, you don't need to make excuses and try to cover up for the guy. He did what he did. Just wait and see what happens. But I see all these people. Oh, he's the hero now because this guy said something about ice. Well, look, maybe the guy did. But if the report from WWE or whomever is feeding whomever says, oh, there are no punches when it's on video, how can I believe the thing about the ice? You could say, oh, yeah, there were punches. But I guess maybe you gotta lie, because if you say there were punches, what good is that gonna do in court? Then you're guilty. And look, it's probably a first charge, as far as we know, for Ludvig Kaiser. He's probably gonna pay a fine and, maybe have whatever sentence he has it deferred for time served or whatever. Whatever. It's probably not gonna be that big of a deal. And you don't need to carry these people's water just because you like them. It's sort of like with Mick Foley now. He's AEW. How dare he? I don't know. Liking wrestling, supporting a wrestler, that's one thing. Going out and cheering for Ludvig Kaiser at his serenade last night is one thing. But making excuses and fantasy booking a real life police situation is quite another. Let it play out. You don't need to cover for these people. You don't need to cape for these people and white knight for these people. Yeah, that's true. Someone goes, it's weird for WWE to come out for a mildly anti-ice statement. Yeah. Well, we know Linda's not going to do that, but she's got other things to destroy. I don't know. Just drives me crazy. And it's just... It's not the end of the world, but it's also doesn't mean he's innocent. Act like an adult. You don't need to cape for everything just because you like a wrestler. Especially when the information is right there in front of your face. We'll get to Smackdown. There's no Collision tonight because it was on Wednesday. But tomorrow, Double or Nothing, sold out. Louis Armstrong Stadium, Queens, New York. Dave says it's the second largest domestic non-WWE gate company history and wrestling history. 0 hour. Starts at 4 p.m. Pacific time, 7 p.m. Eastern, with Renee Paquette and that double-crossing Benedict Arnold, Mick Foley. Just kidding. Pre-show's got Divine Dominion against Zeta Steel and Viva Van. Men's Owen Hart Cup quarterfinal, Swerve versus Bandito. You got the Women's Owen Hart Cup quarterfinal, Athena versus Mina Shirakawa. Continental Championship, Jon Moxley versus Kyle O'Reilly. AEW Women's Championship, 4-way, Tekla, Chris Statlander, Jamie Hayter, and Hikaru Shida. What will Hikaru Shida do? Got the Men's Owen Hart Cup quarterfinal, Will Ospreay and Samoa Joe, which would be great. Will Ospreay grew up watching TNA. Big fan of Amazing Red. Obviously, AJ Styles. That match will never happen. But Samoa Joe. It's kind of a dream match for Will Ospreay. Ike Red match. AEW World Tag Team Champions FTR versus Adam Copeland and Christian Cage. If Cope and Christian give up tomorrow, I'm going to give up on them. Adam Copeland, I understand that he's had injuries and other things, but it just feels like he loses way too much. International Championship, Okada versus Takeshita, should be a lot of fun. Stadium Stampede, Jericho, Bobby Lashley, Shelton Benjamin, Omega, and the Young Bucks versus Jack Perry, Ricochet, Bishop Khan, Toa Leona, Andrade, Mark Davis, David Finlay, and Clark Connors. And for the AEW Championship, hair versus title, Darby Allin versus MJF. And someone says, tomorrow's such a big deal. Someone bets. Don guesses that Mick Foley will wear his fanciest 40-year-old sweatpants for his first day of work in AEW. Someone also wonders if you've ever got a sock puppet. Call it Mr. Sicko. I wonder if Mick Foley's going to be any sort of involvement, over minor, in the main card. Let's talk about Smackdown last night, as much as I don't want to. Stand by, Jim Valley. Wrestling Observer.
Right now,
All clear.
satellite television for free. That's right, we're offering free equipment, free installation, plus get a free $100 prepaid Visa card. Call the Satellite TV hotline right now. Make the switch from cable to satellite television and expand your viewing horizon. On top of free installation, for a limited time, we're offering a fixed price guarantee. With Satellite TV, you'll save money over your expensive cable bill. Plus, get access to hundreds of channels. And when you call right now, you can also ask about our seniors and military discounts. So make the switch to Satellite TV right now. Everybody gets free installation, free equipment, plus a $100 prepaid Visa card. Call right now and you can switch to Satellite TV and be watching everything you wanted to within the next week. And remember, installation's free, so call right now. 800-696-2871. 800-696-2871. 800-696-2871. That's 800-696-2871.
I get a lot of calls from people across the country who are suffering from the affliction of IRS tax debt. Hi, I'm the tax doctor. Call me right now. My team specializes in helping people over the age of 50 solve their tax problems. And the bigger your tax problem is, the more money you can save. If you owe the IRS money, or you're about to owe the IRS money, or even if you need to file years of unfiled returns, call us right now. Our friendly, highly trained representatives are waiting right now to take your call. Over the years, we've helped thousands of people just like you stop the tax liens, wage garnishments, and harassing phone calls. You don't need to send the IRS a big fat check. We can negotiate a lower amount. That's what we guarantee for you. So call us right now.
800-603-9359. 800-603-9359. 800-603-9359. That's 800-603-9359.
Lower your car payment today. Lower your car payment today. Yes, you heard us right. You can lower your car payment right now by making this free call and save up to $1,400 a year on your current car payments. Think about your current car payment right now. What's that costing you per year? Now think about what it would be like to put an extra $1,400 back in your pocket. That's the average savings our customers experience. We can help you drive the same car and pay less every month by lowering your car payment's interest rate to as low as 4.67%. At Rate Genius, we can work with you to refinance any car payment. If you qualify, it costs you nothing to find out how you can lower your car payment. To learn more, call this number right now.
800-832-2816. 800-832-2816. 800-832-2816. That's 800-832-2816.
You are listening to Wrestling Observer Live on the Sports Byline Broadcasting Network.
Jim Valley, it's Wrestling Observer Live. Smackdown last night from Lexington, Kentucky, the home of the late, great Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert. Friday Night Mommy. Or like Friday night, hey, Mamma Mia, this show. Oh my gosh. But it was Friday Night Mommies. Rhea Ripley opened the show. And honestly, seriously, what has Rhea done that's interesting since being linked to Dom Mysterio? Yeah, she and Io were cute, but it's like she's just kind of coasting on the past. She's like the biggest star de facto Smackdown, the women's roster. But Rhea welcomes us, and out comes Charlexa. And man, remember, ask your doctor if Charlexa is right for you. May cause excessive wooming. If black goo drips from your forehead and your headband, see Dave Meltzer for negative stars at WrestleMania. Charlotte and Lexi tell Rhea not to get ahead of herself, focusing on Jade Cargill. They have a 6-woman tag team match at Saturday night's main event. Charlotte and Rhea, they were kind of beefing with each other. Lexi tried to be the peacemaker. Out comes Fatal Influence. JC Jane loves what she sees. So tonight, it's going to be a tag team match. 2 women from each trio in a match later tonight. Backstage, Lexi tells Charlotte and Rhea that they are teaming up. She's sitting this out because they need to get on the same page. Oh my God! Can the women coexist? What a great idea for a storyline. So original. And look, you know how those women are. Am I right, guys? You know those women. You know how they are. Oh, these tag teams. I've got a great idea, boss. What if we have a tag team that can't get along? Genius! Booker of the Year. Oh, my God. Oh, my word. Next up, Talatonga versus Nakamura. I love Shinsuke and his little mini New Japan home that he's built in WWE. Nakamura had the Kinshasa lined up, but Solo Sikoa interfered, allowing Tala to do the power slam, choke slam for the pin. Solo and Tala going in for the kill on Nakamura when Tama Tonga comes out, and after some hesitation and Solo yelling at him, he hits the cutthroat, also known as the hidden blade, on Nakamura. Anyway, and just as Solo was going to hit the Samoan spike, Damian Priest comes down with a steel chair to run off the MFTs. Keep count. That's 1. Because like I mentioned, instead of banger after banger, we get distraction after distraction. Now, Nick Aldis chatting backstage with Charles Robinson. The lights flicker. Told Robinson to go look into it. Cody Rhodes interrupted. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe what happened is they put a data center in backstage at WWE. That's probably what they did. Anyway, Cody Rhodes interrupted. Wonder when Gunther was coming. Aldis said he's going to make sure that Clash in Italy contract is going to get signed. Sammy walks up, offered to help Rhodes against Gunther, but thanks but no thanks. Rhodes left, or did he? Sammy whined about how Cody always gets what he wants, unaware that Rhodes was standing right behind him. So now they've got to have a match later tonight. That's your main event. MFT's in conversation backstage. Tama Tonga said the reason everyone is coming to get them is because everyone thinks they're weak. He said Sikoa had to face Damian Priest on his own for the sake of the family. What does he think he is? Vin Diesel? U.S. champion Tiffany Stratton with, get this, an open challenge. Seriously, there's open challenges in AEW, open challenges WWE, TNA, everybody. You don't all need to do the same thing. When you run out of ideas, you give them an open challenge. You know what wrestling needs? More open challenges. God. Nia and Lash come out. Lash is the challenger tonight because before they win the tag titles back, Saturday night's main event, Lash is going to win the U.S. title. This match was rough. I get it. Lash is not the most experienced, great athlete, but it takes time. Wrestling athleticism is different. I get that. But Tiffany caught her leg on the rope trying to do a pescado. Lash caught her, thank goodness, but it wasn't good. For the commercial, Chelsea Green comes running out to support Tiffany. So you have Nia on one side, Chelsea on the other. We come back. It's breaking down. Chelsea shoves Nia into the ring post outside. Lash grabs Chelsea by the hair. Has her back turned. Tiffany rolls up Lash for the pin. That's 2 distraction finishes. This was not pretty. What has happened to Tiffany Stratton? Is it lack of confidence? It's because she sucks as a baby face. What has happened to her? Nick Aldis says the power issue was an unmarked room, and of course, there's Danhausen trying to reanimate the corpse from last week. Aldis told Danhausen to stop messing around as the lights went out. It's alive. Anyway, elsewhere, The Miz and Kit Wilson were interviewed. As Miz insisted there was no curse, he complained about the Cleveland Cavaliers being cursed by Danhausen. As Fraxium came up, this led to a tag team match between Wilson and Fraxa. It's Wilson and Miz versus Fraxium next week in Barcelona. Trick Williams comes out along with Lil Yachty. They badmouth The Miz, and out comes Carmelo Hayes. He was the champion for 8 weeks. Congratulations. He won the people over with his hard work. Melo turned into Batista. Give me what I want. What's a match tonight? Lil Yachty made excuses like Trick's got a deep tissue massage scheduled later. Anyway, Melo says Williams is always better at playing second fiddle. Trick accepts the match. Trick Williams, Carmelo Hayes. Good match. But these guys have wrestled so many times. Coming back from the second commercial break, guess what? Here comes Ricky Saints. Stop me if you've heard this before. Oh, wait, no, don't stop me because I still got 15 minutes of a show to do. After a near fall of Williams, Hayes went up to the top, maybe looking for nothing but net, but Ricky Saints provided the distraction. Saints argued with the referee. Hayes rolled up Williams. No luck. Hayes punched Saints off the apron, but that opened him up to Williams' trick shot. He ended up looking at the lights. 1, 2, 3. 3 for 3 on distractions tonight. Backstage, Melo punched Saints, told him to stay out of his business. Ricky Saints is never, by the way, going to get over looking like a mini Rock from 1997. Why not just put him in a turtleneck, give him the gold chain in the fanny pack, and get it over with? Recap on Brock. Now it's Charlotte Flair, Rhea Ripley versus Fallon Henley and Laney Reed. Now look, I get you got Laney. Laney Lane, is that the country star? Yes. But Fallon Henley looks like country star Laney Lane. I don't know. Anyway, we didn't get a distraction this time, but we did get attacks after the match as Jade and the Baddies came down, along with Fatal Influence, to beat down on Charlexa and Rhea. By the way, the Rhea and Charlotte won. But so we got that going on. Solo Sikoa, Damian Priest via pinfall. Guess what? Tama Tonga was going to interfere, but didn't. However, Talatonga caused the distraction. Solo intercepted Priest with a Samoan spike for the pin. Again, it's like Dentine gum. 3 out of 4 finishes come with a distraction. The MFTs tried to attack Priest some more, but Royce Keys came down, took out Tala and Tama Tonga. Sized up Solo to fight him, but Sikoa backed up. Delirious Priest grabbed Keys by the throat, thinking he was a threat. I don't know. Look, I'm not saying this tension between Tama Tonga and the MFTs take a long time, but even Tony Khan told them to hurry up. Chelsea Green ran into Blake Monroe. You know, she looks a lot like Mariah May. Anyway, Blake said that she saw Chelsea, that now she wished she didn't. After Monroe left, Nia Jax literally ran into Green as payback for earlier. The crack team of road agents got Jackson Legends to back off with the damage already done to Green. Royce Keys angry about Priest grabbing him by the throat, saying R-Truth told him to come down and help Damian Priest. He says he didn't need any help. Anyway, so we shall see. He says they may have an issue if you're not careful. Main event, Cody, Sami Zayn. Cody wanted to shake hands. Sami wasn't having it. Arm drag by Sami, followed by another handshake. Rhodes was kind of annoyed. He kept turning it down. Anyway, fast forward. As Rhodes had Zayn at his mercy, guess what? Gunther snuck up. Applied the sleeper hold. However, Zayn completely missed the Eluva kick, opening him up for the Crossroads and the win by Cody. Post-match, Gunther put Rhodes to sleep and Zayn just walked out as the crowd booed. Saturday night's main event tonight. This feels like there's no star power on this show. Really. I mean, with the exception of, I don't know, Logan Paul, I guess. I mean, there's no Roman. There's no Cody. There's the World Tag Team Championship. Logan Paul, Austin Theory versus the Street Profits. Is there an angle there, maybe? Intercontinental Championship. Penta versus All Ego Ethan Page. Ethan Page doing great, but he still seems pretty new for the crowd who would watch Saturday night's main event. We'll see. Becky Lynch versus Sol Ruca. I believe it's once again a non-title match. Probably an upset there. Rhea Ripley, Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss versus the baddies, Jade Cargill, B-Fab, and Michin. And the Women's Tag Team Championship, Paige and Brie Bella versus Nia Jax and Lash Legend. Nothing ever happens on Saturday night's main event. You know, I'm tired of being nice and saying, oh, this could happen, that could happen. You know what? This is not 1986. Hell, it's not even 1992 Saturday night's main event. Hell, it's not even 2006 Saturday night's main event. These shows are filler. And that's really all they are. And maybe they'll be something, but not much. We shall see. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like I've been too nice to WWE lately, giving them the benefit of the doubt when it's just not there. Someone goes, yeah, it's like Shotgun Saturday Night. Well, you know, this is not shot. It's more like Pop Gun Saturday Night. Because this is just, yeah, Velocity or Jacked. It's just not, I don't know. Yeah. Someone goes, Saturday night's main event peaked where Hogan said, can I get a countdown, brother? I think that was the main event. Because that was the Hogan Savage ring. Still. I understand what you're saying. Anyway. Yeah, I'm just kind of, WWE needs to get it together because it is just not hitting these days for the most part. All right, stand by, Jim Valley. Wrestle Observer Live.
With MedGuard Alert, you're never alone. You can connect with medical professionals anywhere, anytime. And now MedGuard is introducing our exclusive new Care Watch. If you need help quickly, use it from anywhere to contact medical professionals. No cell phone required. The Care Watch is not only a life-saving medical alert device, it's a revolutionary health monitoring system that checks your blood pressure, heart rate, oxygen saturation, and much more. And here's the best part. If you have Medicaid, you may qualify to get your Care Watch for free. The Care Watch is only available through MedGuard Alert. Call us right now. We have monitoring programs starting as low as $1 a day. The call is free, activation is free, shipping is free, and no contract is required. Remember, with Medicaid, you may qualify to get your Care Watch for free. Call us to get your Care Watch right now.
800-853-8931. 800-853-8931. 800-853-8931. That's 800-853-8931.
Do you have diabetes? I'm sure you've seen the television commercials on the new CGM devices from all the top brands and how well they can help you manage your diabetes. Do you have the latest and newest in diabetes technology? The Diabetes Solution Center carries most of the top brands, and the great news is your insurance may cover most of the cost. Call our special CGM hotline today, and our friendly representatives will help see if you qualify. You could get a new CGM from the top brands at little or no cost to you. Make living with diabetes easier. You are just one free phone call away to learn if your insurance covers the cost. So make this free call today to the Diabetes Solutions Center and learn for free how to get your new continuous glucose monitor.
800-520-8629. 800-520-8629. 800-520-8629. That's 800-520-8629.
You are listening to Wrestling Observer Live on the Sports Byline Broadcasting Network.
Jim Valley, Wrestling Observer Live. I think tomorrow's Double or Nothing. It's going to be a great show. Don't think MJF is losing his hair, but still going to be a great match. And I don't know if this is real. It's so weird today that you don't know. This was on Squared Circle on Reddit. Apparently, Donald Trump posted on Truth Social that says, "We all miss," and he spells it wrong. He's got a picture of Hulk Hogan there. But he says, "We all missed the Huckster." I don't know. People are saying it's real, but I guess it takes one to know one. What a timeline we live in. Oh, speaking of parasocial relationships, Mance Warner, his story came out after the promoter said Tony Khan canceled him, even though he's not under AEW contract. People jumped right on him. Again. Listen, pay attention. Enough with the parasocial relationship. Just because you like or don't like something. Right? All right, talk to you next week, Jim Valley. Wrestling Observer.
All right, Jim. Have a good week. I'll talk to you next week. Okay.
All right, brother. Thank you.
All right.
Bye. All righty. There it is.
We've reached Memorial Day weekend here in the United States of America. There is the obvious reason that we celebrate this holiday, or at least should be, and that is in remembrance for those who gave some and some who gave all in the defense of our freedoms and ideologies. And for those who have, I sincerely thank you. There are some other traditions that have developed over the years when it comes to Memorial Day weekend, not the least of which is the holiday serving as a holiday for the American motorsports industry.
Good for you. Nice guy. Best tag team of all time. Most overrated tag team of all time. Oh, gosh. Oh, overrated. Overrated. I'm sure I can think of an overrated one. I mean, look, in my mind, it's got to be the Young Bucks for the best. And I know people don't want to hear that. But, they have, their success led to a wrestling company. Their success, they have pioneered matches. They've had a ton of amazing matches. And they've been at the forefront of this for a very long time. They have drawing power. They have, pioneering in them. They have everything. They're influential. All of that stuff. Hello from Ireland. Yeah, maybe DX. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah. Considering, yeah. Hello to Ireland. I know Dawn is from Ireland too. Look at that. My ratings have increased 100% in Ireland. So that's good. Look at that. Yeah, maybe DX. That's a good choice. That's a good choice. Who else? I know there's more. Anyway, there's lots more. Anyway. Yeah, Smackdown was like thunder. God, it was bad. Oh, that was bad. Bad. Post-Easter Rising. Anyway. All right. That's right. I'm big on the Emerald Isle. Oh, that's right. Crash TV too. I'm wrong then. Yeah, I increased by 50%, not 100%, 50%. That's right. I forgot about Crash. That's right. Look at me. Look at that. It's an honor. I get a kick out of anybody listening. I do. But it's always amazing to me that there's oh yeah. Okay, I do want to talk about that. But it's always amazing to me with international people and stuff. Maybe because I was always on the radio locally and it was always like local people. You do some national news stuff too. People would recognize you if you made like the network news at the top, things like that, or stuff like that. But I mean, a lot of it was locally, so it just gives me a kick. So, yeah, right. I would love that. Oh gosh, I need to. Oh, you don't even know. Anyway, okay. So explain to me what the Starcade edition is. I've seen the one where it's all just they have theme music, entrance music, and I don't really care about getting a game with just entrance music. Isn't enough for me to get it. I don't care about that. But what about the Starcade edition? What's that? Yes, Pan Global. Does it have like different wrestlers as they were like different, like Starcade? Like would Greg Valentine be in it, for example? That kind of thing? They have a chain match for Roddy Piper? I doubt it. Because I don't know if they can do the chain physics on what you call it? On Nintendo 64. Hey, by the way, does anybody have the Analog 3D? I was thinking about getting that, but I don't know. I've been on a bit of a shopping kick lately. That's what I've been thinking. But what do I know? Anybody? No, someone has. There's like a Starcade one that just came out. I swear. No, the 18 Starcades. That'd be. Oh, that's what you mean. Right. I get it now. Sorry. I understand what you're saying. I get it. Sorry, I'm dumb. A little slow sometimes. What am I looking forward to? Double or Nothing. Spring Stampede. I wouldn't be surprised if Mick Foley does a quick cameo in Spring Stampede. Stadium Stampede. I wouldn't be surprised. Let's see. Swerve and Bandito should be good. Ospreay, Samoa Joe, that'll be good. Yeah. Well, I mean, everything looks good. I mean, even something is John Moxley versus Kyle O'Reilly. I mean, Kyle's great. Why would you want TNA? Why? I mean, what do you need it for? I don't know. And WCW, I don't think that WWE would give up that asset. Oh, Stargate, that's funny. Nice. That is a nice pull. Starcade. Nice. That's funny. That's a nice pull, Starcade, from that TV show. I love that show because what was the game show's name? Jim Edwards or Tom Edwards, whatever his name was. He was an old game show host that was on all the other game shows. And he didn't know anything about any of the video games. It was so funny. So funny. They could. That's not a bad idea. That's not a bad idea. I don't know. I think that if we're doing something with them, it would have already happened this year. But you never. Jeff Edwards, thank you. Jeff Edwards. As far as JCW, yeah, I think it would have. If it was going to happen this year, I feel like it would have already happened. But maybe another year, you never know. You never know how this wrestling business goes. With partnerships and various things. You never know. Jeff Edwards, yeah. Jeff Edwards, he was on, I think he was Joker's Wild for a while. Did he do Treasure Hunt? I think he did Treasure Hunt. He did a bunch of them. Yeah, the Willow injury is heartbreaking. Yeah, that roll she did. Speaking of rolls, oh my God, Tiffany Stratton's rolls looked terrible in that match last night. Terrible. Terrible. What is going on with Tiffany Stratton? Yeah. We'll see. I mean, with AEW, you never know. They could do both of them turning. They could do, a lot of times they try to go against tropes. So we shall see. Well, except for the open challenge. They need to stop doing that. Yeah. Yeah, poor Willow. Poor Willow. They could bring in Kyoko Kimura. No, she doesn't. It's too bad for me. Anyway, yes. Yeah, Willow's great. She's just so happy all the time. Yeah. Yeah, the Pescado. At least it was, it was a Pescado where she was taking herself over. But yeah, she caught her knee or her leg, ankle. Looked like her knee on the top rope. But the whole match was not bad. Willow did like a somersault plancha onto from the apron onto the floor and rolled on her shoulder pad. So yeah, it was a shoulder injury. It's out there if you can see it. I watched it a few times. Yeah, she, instead of rolling through, she gets sideways and puts too much weight on her one shoulder, as opposed to rolling through and equally distributing the weight. So, yeah, that was bad. It was bad. It was bad. Yeah. What is going on? Are they just not helping her anymore? Was she getting that much assistance And I mean, I get it. You know, that was probably Tiffany calling the match, but still, it's like, you know, yeah, that was, it's like I feel bad for her, kind of. But, yeah. Yeah, she folded herself over, yeah. Yeah, it was bad. But we shall see what happens. Oh, gosh. If I could see any past wrestling event, oh, gosh. You know what it used to be? It used to be the first Jim Crockett Memorial Tag Team Tournament because there was so much talent, but it ended up on YouTube, and it's terrible. The matches are short. The finishes are uncreative. It's terrible. It's terrible. So it wouldn't be that. You know, maybe something to do with Lawler in his prime pulling down the strap. Maybe even wrestling Andy Kaufman, maybe, or something like that, perhaps. Maybe that. Maybe the night Misawa won, beating Jumbo Tsuruta. Maybe seeing something prime Bull Nakano. Oh yeah, the Tupelo Brawl. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, the second. Oh, the one in '87. Yeah, that one. That felt less organic because they kind of, as years went on, it became more of just a strictly Crockett deal, and less, you know. No, dude, wrestling is great right now, and the people who don't know and complain, they don't even know what they're talking about. But at the same time, people need to learn their history too. Yeah. Well, '96. Is that the Harlem Heat one? Look, no disrespect to the people in Sturgis, except for the ones yelling at Harlem Heat. But if you're just a regular person, the thing in Sturgis, it's not my scene. Not my thing. So no, I would not be doing that. I don't need to see. Yeah. No, the Jay Leno one was 98. That was Jay Leno was Sturgis 98. That would have been Road Wild. Yeah. Oh, heavens. Yeah. That's true, he was, yeah. 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 Oh my gosh. Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. Oops. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh, see Terry Funk, yeah. Well, because the reason I remember it was 98 is because that was pretty much the end of WCW being pretty much competitive. Yeah. Yes. Maybe the first Terry Funk retirement. Forever. Maybe a few years. Yeah. That's the only reason I remember that. Yeah. Yeah. So there you go. All right, kids. You know what? So apparently, last week I went too long because this video wouldn't play back. So I felt bad. You want to see Lincoln wrestle? There we go, yes. Thou art awesome. Thou art awesome. gonna 4-score on your ass. Lincoln 316 says, I just 4-scored on your ass. I like it. I like it. Yes, indeed. Because when you're Abe Lincoln, you're not a slave for life. Yes. John Wilkes Booth. Yeah, John Wilkes Booth would do the, was it the hidden blade or the kill shot? Something. I don't know. Just don't shoot on Abe. Yeah, that's exactly right. Forge Theater. Yes. Yes. Well, you know, the only reason they do all that is because Dana White is a left-leaning Democrat. Ooh. Oh, I got a pain. You see that interview? Okay, Dana. That too. Okay. Be whatever you want, but just own it. Just own it. Just own it. Jesus. Anyway. All right, kids. Well, go and enjoy. There we go. That's right. Yeah, no kidding. That match was... Look, I mean, I would like to think that Ciampa was, you know, he's having a good time wrestling. And they just... I mean, I hope he's having fun and doing what he wants. But yeah, that was hella. Wrestling Union, I don't know if it's going to happen or not. We'll see. We shall see. We shall see. Anyway. The Lincoln Emancipation Proclamation signing. That's right. Oh, my word. Anyway, they did have a union. Well, they had a U period, N period, I period, O period, N period. So, I don't even. So, yeah, I mean, he looks like he's having fun. I hope he is. I just hope that he's okay. Don't get too crazy, but I don't know. I hope he's happy. No, I do. I mean that. So, anyway, kids. All right. You guys. Yeah. No, not a shoot league. Now, Hulk Hogan would have done that. Yes, Big Show in that one. Also, Mick Foley. Who else was in it? It was the Boss Man, Ken Shamrock. I forget who else. Is anybody else? Was China? China in that, maybe? Sort of this way. It was like the WWE Attitude Era conglomeration is kind of what it was. So, anyway. Yes. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy Double or Nothing. And, yeah. I should end the stream, though, because last week, I guess you couldn't access this because I used too much memory. So, and you know how expensive it is with data centers and all that. So, anyway. All right, kids. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you next week.